excited to enter this new month. This new month. God has done so much for us. But I don't know why some of you were not ready to rejoice. Because that's where we are going for the whole of the month. Are you all here with me?
Yes, sir.
Are you here with me?
Yes, sir.
Can we all rise up to bless the Lord for this new month? To say, Lord, thank you that you have brought me into a glorious and a wonderful and a marvelous good month. Now lift your voice and begin to bless the Lord for that. Lift your voice and begin to bless God. Lift your voice and say, Lord, thank you that I have entered into another wonderful month. Be sincere to express yourself that God will know you are sincere. He is a good and a great God. Bless him for the grace he has given for the month of February. He who has done great things will do greater. God will do greater things. He will do greater things. In Jesus' precious name, we worship. Let me read this passage, our anchor passage for the month. And I want you to pray on it. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, he said unto Philip, whence shall we buy bread that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 pennyworth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said unto him, there is a lad here which has 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. But what are they among so many? And Jesus said, make the men sit down. Now there was much grass in the place. So the men sat down in number about 5,000. And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them that were set down, and likewise of the fishes as much as they would. And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, somebody shout amen. Amen. Jesus and the disciples facing a challenge in the wilderness. They were about to feed many. Jesus asked them, where do we buy food? Where are we going to buy food to feed these people? And because they were off the town, the distance was far. The people were many, over 5,000. The men alone were 5,000, excluding women and children. And Jesus asked them that question. And one of them said, there is a lad here with 5 loaves and 2 fishes. But excuse me, we are talking about feeding over 5,000 men, and you are reminding us about 5 loaves. And Jesus asked, okay, bring that one that is available. The little in your hands, bring that little. And Jesus took it. And the Bible said, when he had given thanks. And that is where the Lord has anchored our focus this month. When Jesus had given thanks, the miracle began. Amen. Multiplication began. Amen. So our theme for this month is praise him again and again and again and again. Amen. Somebody shout amen. Amen. What is our theme for February? Praise him again and again and again and again. Praise him until you are tired. Did you hear what I'm saying? That's what we are going to do. And as if some of you knew, you began this first Friday to praise him how? Again and again and again and again. That again should not stop. Because that is how the miracle continues. Amen. Come on, are you all there? How do you praise him this month? Again and again and again. Because your miracle will happen how? Again and again. How will your income flow this month? Again and again and again. I'm talking to somebody already. How will your sales be this month? Again and again and again and again. Somebody say, I will not suffer anymore. You see, they gave him only 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And the miracle began how? Again and again, again and again and again. Wherever you go this month, the miracle will follow you how? Again and again and again. How will your health grow this month? Again and again it will rise. The Lord will raise my health again and again. Am I talking to somebody? Sickness will run away far from you. How? Again and again and again. Sickness will run and keep running and keep running. Come on, I'm talking to somebody. Now lift your voice and say, Lord, I surrender to praise you again and again and again and again and again. Raise your voice and say, Lord, this is my mode of dancing. Now, again, I will dance again. I will dance again and again and again and again. because the bread multiplied and kept multiplying again and again and again and again. That's how it will be. Just lift your voice and bless the Lord and say, Lord, this month is my praise month. And this is an endless praise from my mouth. For I will praise you again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Lord, I will lift your name higher again and again and again. I will praise you, Lord, always, time without number. I will magnify you again and again and again and again and again and again. Your glory shall be in my mouth. Your testimony shall be in my mouth. Oh, tell him, Lord, I'll praise you again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again. Hallelujah. Lord, I will not stop exalting your name again and again and again and again. For I know when my praise goes up, oh Lord, my blessing will come down. When my praise goes up, my blessing will come down. The glory of your presence will come down. The power of your mightiness will come down. Lord, I know when I praise you, great things will happen. Lord, I will praise you. I will not stop. I will not stop. I know when I praise you, miracles will not stop happening in my life. Lord, a lot will happen again and 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 again. That's how it will flow this way. Again and again. Worshiping you again and again, exalting you again and again. Oh God, I will not be tired. I will not give up. Father, we thank you. We receive the month of February, Lord, and dedicate it to you. Lord, bowing before your presence and your altar. Lord, by your power, I will praise you again and again, Lord, and again and again, Lord, and again and again and again and again, Lord, and again, and greater than again and again and again. Thank you, Lord. We dedicate February into your hand. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Somebody shout a better amen. That your amen is not glorious. I prophesy into your life that your blessing will rise again and again and again and again and again and again. The favor of God shall be multiplied for you this month again and again and again and again and again and again and again. The grace of God will abound for you again and again and again and again and again and again. Your finances shall surely rise again and again and again and again and again and again. This month you will not see any misfortune. That amen should be more. This month the Lord will surely disgrace your enemies. Whoever has risen up against you will run away 7 times. I said that enemy will run away 7 times. That sickness will run away 7 times. I said that sickness will run away 7 times. And will not return into your life. The glory of his presence will overtake you. His power will overshadow you. I declare that this month you will laugh and dance. Someone here will dance again and 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 again. That is how it will roll. The glory of his presence will cover us. The Lord will turn his attention upon us, and his glory will cover us all the way. The glory of the Lord shall be your reward this month. People will look at you and call you blessed. You will not advertise yourself, the Lord shall advertise you. You will not talk about yourself, God will announce you by himself. Again and again and again and again and again. Jesus. He that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or ever imagine. He said will give you attention this month again and again and again and again. For he is a mighty God. Daddy, thank you. No sickness will come near our dwelling anymore. Sickness, I drive you out in the name of Jesus. Spirit of the living God, thank you. We shall rejoice in the Lord our God. Lord, we shall rejoice in you. Thank you. I bless the month of February in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Whoever will dare to raise a police case against you, that is cancelled in the name of Jesus. Any case that may arise over your life is cancelled in the name of Jesus. The hand of the Lord will fight our battles, and his joy shall be our portion. Now listen, his anointing shall grow higher and higher, and you will have a reason to rejoice in the Lord. Daddy, thank you. February is, we receive February. The days and the events of glory in February. Death is out of it in the name of Jesus. Please, that amen should be higher. I said death is out of it. Misfortune is out of it. Tears and woes are out of it. For the glory of the Lord will overtake your life. That is so shall it be. Thank you. For in Jesus' name, Lord, we worship. Jab your hands for Jesus. Jab your hands very well and get seated. When it is time to stand and worship, you are in the church, rise and worship. When it is time to clap. Don't sit when others are standing, and don't stand when others are sitting. Flow in the worship. Can I hear amen? Amen. This morning briefly we'll look at a woman in search of love and affection. The story of a woman in search of love and affection. A woman who was married by tradition according to her father's wish. Her consent was not sought, but tradition prevailed over her. A woman who was married to a man who was in love with another woman. Can you imagine that? That woman was married to a man who was in love with another woman because tradition demanded. So the father said, it is not done in our country that you should marry the elder, or marry the younger before the elder. So that's why I gave you the elder. So this woman lived under the envy of her own blood sister, because both were married to the same husband. This woman needed love and affection from the husband, but never got it as she desired it. She sought it by all means, but to no avail. And God strongly beckoned on her to turn her attention by giving her male issues or baby boys, but she was engrossed with the desire for the husband's love, and she never got it. Can you imagine a woman that was married against her wish? A woman that was just given to marriage to a man that was in love with another woman. And when she got married, God began to bless her with baby boys. So she had the first baby boy. Oh, she was so excited. And she jumped up and said, now, my husband will love me. Why? I have given him a baby boy. And the husband kept his face in Jerusalem. Hi, baby. Kaliwale, baby. Are you there? And she had another issue, and it was a baby boy. She was so excited. And she had a third one. She concluded, now, I've given my husband 3 baby boys. And she said, now my husband will be joined to me. His affection I will show him. Because she knew that when you give birth to baby boys, hey, anywhere in the world is prime. My dad told me, because I have 2 sisters above me, that when they had me, he was so excited that, riding his bicycle, he fell into a gutter. Joy for a baby boy is always there anywhere in the world. This woman had 3. Presented to the husband. Actually, the husband was in love with the younger sister and served the uncle. I'm talking about Jacob in the Bible. Jacob was in love with Rachel and served the uncle Laban for 7 years and concluded the days of service so that he now called the uncle, now give me my wife, I've finished my service so that I'll get married. So they did ceremony. The Bible said they made a great feast at night. I don't know, so to say, be it as it may. In the Middle East here, it could have been that they covered the face of that lady, Leah, and gave her, someone said, they off the land. Anyway, they didn't have electricity then, right? So anything could have happened. Because that man was a manipulator. I don't know why manipulation ran in that family. Yeah, it's true. Rebecca manipulated. The senior brother manipulated. May God deliver them from manipulation. So it just happened that night, Leah was smuggled in. And in the morning, Jacob woke up. He said, excuse me, sir. Why have you done this to me? I said for Rachel, I'm in love with Rachel. And because the uncle is a very smart man, he tapped him on the cool boy. In our tradition, you don't marry out the younger sister before the elder. So serve again, she's here for you. The man was a very smart guy. He knew that the presence of Jacob brought a blessing. So he needed that presence to continue. So he had to find a way to keep the young man. I know he loves my daughter. I'll keep him in it so that I will gain another blessing. So, thereafter, David decided to serve. The Bible said the next 7 years was like a few days for him because of the war. So, in and thereafter, she was given. The moment they got married, the Bible said Leah began to have children. The first one. She was seeking affection and love from the husband. She sought it by all means. She never got it. She presented herself, and the gifts God has given her to the husband, just to get his attention. It never came. First time, remember, years are running. Imagine you're married to a man who does not call you. How do you feel? How are you? And he's always with the other woman. Always and always. Always and always. There was a time when the son of Leah came back from the field and brought one plant, And Rachel loved the plant and said, hey, He called the name of the guy. Hey, can you please give me my... The mother said, excuse me, you have taken my husband. Do you want to take my son also? So it was at that extreme. So she suffered that denial, deprivation, pain, that the husband that ought to bring comfort now turned to be a painful marriage that is supposed to be joy, turned to be. So the children she had, joy was not there. In the midst of all this agony and pain, God came also loving her, trying to call her attention, but she did not look towards this direction. But when she had the fourth one, she now made up her mind, and she made a statement. Now will I praise the Lord. Somebody shout amen. Amen. Now I will praise the Lord. It's a very short and brief passage, and I want us to read it, and then I will conclude with few things. In the book of Genesis, take it home. Everybody write it down. When you go home, you read about this woman who was in search of love. I want you to read it yourself. So let's put it up on the screen. Genesis 29, 31 to 35. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb. But Rachel was barren, and Leah conceived and bare a son. And she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely, look at it there, the Lord has looked upon my affliction. You see, she was in affliction. And so she said, now, therefore, my husband will love me. And she conceived again and bare a son. And said, because the Lord has heard I was hated. You see, first affliction, second hated. He had therefore given me this son also. That's the second son. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again. Can you imagine? This area of her life was good. This area of her life was just moving. Look up, everybody. Look up, everybody, before I read this. Sometimes God can allow a certain area of your life to move and keep moving. And things will be happening fine and fine and fine. But there might be an area, when you look towards that area, God, you are doing this. What is happening in this area? It might be that most areas of your life are okay, but there's an area that you have affliction. There's an area that is not okay. It's an area that weighs you down. Am I preaching to somebody? Yes. Am I talking to somebody? Yes. If you're the one here, wave your hands up. Say amen. Amen. You know, you can be a very good, handsome man, very, very good, and very good looking. You have this, you have that, but you're not educated. That's true. And education becomes the affliction in your life. The same applies to a very good looking girl, but she cannot speak good English because she's not educated. Poverty has affected you in one area, in one way or the other. Something made it, not because you were not willing to study, but the support and the finances were not there. You may be A or C or D in one area. But when you look around in this area, this thing is just a sucking blood out of you. And it weighs you down. It's like you want to fly, but the wings are not there. The strength to fly, but the wings to fly are not there. That was Rachel. That was Leah. Children were coming and coming and coming. Do you know, in the midst of all this, the sister who was beautiful, the Bible gave a special description about Rachel. Rachel was beauty, an epitome of beauty. But having children was a problem. Now, Leah is fine. and children. But the love of the husband was not there.